and this is us back for the second hour of this week's A Song of Tara. And when last we left, we had just had Fenna call out to Connell, calling him, well, basically telling him to stop being a baby.
That was actually exactly what she told him.
And now we are looking at at the fallout of that situation. So what does Connell do?
So, Connell's fresh off the victory when they murderized all those vampires, and now his alpha is telling him to really back in and play the cautious game again, and yada yada yada. And that's what made Connell storm off.
Of course.
He's not taking that anymore. And so I think he also has short fuse and all that. So I think what happens is that Fenna and the others, for that matter, watch this gigantic hippo run toward Fenna at full speed.
Oh fuck!
I'm just going to spend a point of willpower to activate the lightning reflexes.
You can do that, although I would say you have time to just change into another form and just belt off if that's what you want. And I don't know who's got the higher dex stat of the two of you.
3.
In hippo form, Connell has a dex of 6.
Yeah, and what would Fenna's be if she changed shape?
Into hippo it would be 5.
Yeah, then he's still running faster, so okay.
Well, but I can still I can activate the lightning reflexes and turn into a hippo and run. Lightning reflexes stays active for like the entire day.
Sure. All right.
So there'll be a merry chase throughout the green.
Yep, I guess.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Well, at least he gets to burn off some steam that way.
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
And Fenna's going to cunningly lead him to the car.
This is
maybe no, actually not to the car, because we'd have to get to Aaron's apartment to find that one. But yeah, whatever.
Nonetheless,
it's completely quietly. Besides our dear Tally, as the big ferocious Connell is chasing down Fenna, and mutters very softly, "I'm so happy I'm not born as a ragabash."
Yeah. Taliesin reaches into his jacket for a joint, realises he hasn't got any since he's changed and all that stuff got destroyed apart from his dedicated clothing, curses quietly but very, very, very saltily, and just puts his hands in his pockets and just starts making his way off in the same direction that Fenna's leading Connell.
Yep. So you are... Yeah, okay, fair enough. How long is Connell going to keep chasing her?
I think that
he's tired.
No, because that'd be a long time. I think. I think for a few minutes, and then it's and then he stops and turns back into Homid.
All right. So eventually
he calms down. Now.
He calms down after getting some steam burned off.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. And then what?
Well,
at that point,
I guess Fenna changes back into Homid as well.
Good. All right.
So, are you gonna drive that car or what? Because apparently I'm not allowed to, just because I haven't really driven a car before.
Fenna, do you agree with with the notion that we should play this cautious.
Mm. I'm not really sure. I mean,
Fine.
if Raven said to.
Fine, I'll drive the damn car.
Thank you.
Ooh.
Right, let's head off and quick. I don't know how much time we've got, but it's really not enough. Sorry?
Look at it this way, Connell. There's still a very big chance we find someone you can murder on the way.
That's true.
They'll probably be dog hunting and, well,
Right?
Let's just go.
Yep, Edison starts making his way towards the direction of the exit to the green, and then in the direction of Aaron's apartment.
Yeah. Well, you get to his car in short order.
No trouble along the way.
No, none.
Lovely. Okay, so I assume then we just, with no one says anything, we just get in and drive off.
Connell
Oh.
doesn't say anything at all.
I don't think any of us have his keys, so it would probably still need hot wiring.
what kind of car was it?
Something expensive.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Hmm. Then with Taryn's nice little technology, she can probably hotwire it.
Oh, Connell can as well. He's done it
Tag
a million
Aaron.
times.
Yeah, let's let Connell do
I'm
it.
guessing
yeah.
you
Something
need
he needs.
mechanics to hotwire a car.
Actually,
that's-
that goes under larceny because
Yeah,
Tag
exactly.
Aaron.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, so yeah, let's let Connell do it
An
because he's
ancient
in a sulky
divination
mood and he
method
needs
of
something
the
to focus
Highland
on.
Scots, the Oracle of the
good idea.
Okay. Connell hotwires a car. Do you want to roll for that, John?
Road rage.
Storyteller?
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have security or larceny or anything of the sort?
2 dozen larceny.
Yeah, then you don't need to roll. You just hotwire the car, no problem.
Cool. And then it's off. Off
And
we go.
then, yep, off you go. Da-da-da, da-da. Puppy power.
God, not that. Abomination!
Well, I didn't actually know what he said in English, so I just heard his Danish line in my head,
Mm-hmm.
which translates into the hero dog.
Hunden.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
But yeah, so onwards to Sandyford.
Yes. Onwards to
The way
Sandyford.
it's said, it sounds like Sandy foot, as in a foot.
I'm sorry, I'll enunciate
it's-
for you.
no.
Sandyford.
It's pronounced Sandyford, so yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, you get there, and as usual, this time of night, it's quiet. It's getting to be early morning now, by the way, but it's the what's it called? Come on, Joan, for God's sakes. The place is still mostly empty. There aren't that many people out and about at this time. That will change within the next hour or hour and a half, but for now at least it's still quiet.
Cool. So, this is the place then.
What do?
When you arrive in the area, you still need to find the exact address,
Sure.
of course.
Okay.
You see, obviously, you only see a few people along the way. There's always going to be some people out and about, obviously. The thing is, though, I'm gonna need a perception plus alertness roll from all of you.
Difficulty?
Yay!
Difficulty is 6.
We can't use the. Oh, okay. We can't use the thing.
So
Aw.
3 successes as far as I can tell.
2.
Ow! Fucking flies are biting.
What?
Flies shouldn't bite.
Why
Why
are flies
flies?
bite? Are you sure it's not fleas?
It is flies. They sit down and they bite, and they usually do that because it's too hot and dry and they don't have any water, and then they start biting.
What the fuck?
It's like kill.
Alright, Connell, Fenna, and...
I get 3, it seems. 10,
Yep.
10, 3.
Yep. Everybody
I
has
have-
at least one success.
Okay.
So you all seem to agree, some slightly before the others, but there's one particular young woman that you seem to see repeatedly.
Really?
Yeah.
Do we
Even as you
have a
drive
face?
along, she's leaning against a lamppost or sitting on a wall, and next time you drive around a corner, she's slightly further along on the road. She's sitting on the hood of a car or walking along or something. You see her repeatedly, and you're fairly sure that it is her because let's just say her skin tone is slightly darker than the average Irishman's.
Is her?
That's racist.
No, it isn't.
Sorry.
Don't even fucking go there. Is her ethnicity? Actually, what is her ethnicity? Is it easy to tell?
She's possibly from somewhere in Africa. Possibly, perhaps. She could also be from 3 doors down. You don't know.
Okay.
Maybe she's
Ireland
a
has
cat.
Ireland is a fairly multi-ethnic society by now.
Yeah, that's yeah. I wasn't trying to.
I know.
Okay.
I know.
That's fine. Don't
I
worry.
need to get this comment in,
Yeah.
as Taryn probably is one of the first to notice. Either we in Pokemon, or there's a lot of that girl there.
Yes.
All them trainers look alike.
No, Joy and Jenny.
Oh, that's just what we.
Yeah, okay, that.
That's just what we need to find out we're stuck in a fucking video game and we're seeing the same fucking NPC model over and over. What is with that, I wonder? Maybe we should,
Then I will put in a complaint. I can't even level up.
if we're seeing her, that might be because we need to stop and actually she wants to get our attention.
Or she's
Nothing.
just keeping an eye on us.
Possibly.
If we drive past her, Taryn will
One-
wave at her.
Want me to stop the car, boss man?
No, we keep going to the location, but let Taryn do her thing.
Roger that,
So
chief.
you wave at her?
What? Yeah, when we drive past her again while we are talking, she'll wave at her. Like,
Okay. Well,
hi.
then that's the last time you see her.
Oh.
She didn't like being spotted. Very cat-like.
Oh, I
Well,
bet
Tell you,
it's
she's a
certain.
black cat. Definitely.
Brenna, that's racist.
Yeah, well, I think it probably would have been best, probably a good idea we didn't get out and speak to her directly. Then that could have ended badly. Anyway,
Or it could have made things a lot faster.
maybe. But if she's that skittish that she disappears after we wave at her, if we try and get out and talk to her, she might just dart off. I don't know. We'll
And
just
that
keep.
would have been different how?
It wouldn't, but it would have meant we'd had to stop the car, get out, get back in. Could we just keep driving to the location, please?
And
We are!
She would probably, if she disappears because I wave at her, she would be gone even sooner if we actually stopped and got out.
Hmm.
Isn't
Right.
that what Taryn just said?
You get to
What?
the address. And true enough, there's a small parking space for the people working there. It's not the biggest office in the area, but it does have its own building with a parking lot for maybe something like 30 cars. And
Tiny.
yeah, compared to some of the places out here, that is tiny indeed.
The last place I worked at was Leo Pharma.
Yeah,
I think I'm allowed to call it tiny.
it is tiny, but in this part of Dublin, genuinely, it is tiny. I mean, this is the same area where Microsoft and Facebook and LinkedIn and so on, where they have their European headquarters. So yeah, having a small parking lot for 30 cars is tiny. Microsoft has 2 parking basements for to itself. So yeah.
Well, that tells Taliesin, and it tells me that this therefore is a very minimally staffed location.
Yeah.
Even in full working hours.
And it's probably just started up.
Mm-hmm. It is fairly early for it to be starting up anyway, so maybe they're expecting us. So I assume then, if is the parking is the work English, Christopher Corbin English. Is the employee car park open?
Yes, it is. You can drive in and park your car if you want.
Yep, we're not employees, but fuck it, we're Guru. We don't care about personal space. We whittle on things.
I think that's what
actually quite funny.
I'm sorry to interrupt and say out of character stuff, but Chris, are you going to be okay having just said your full name on the video?
Oh my god, I'm going to be tracked down and killed.
No, I'm just asking if you're okay with that or if it'll need an edit.
You just made everyone aware. Hello.
It's okay, don't worry about guys, seriously, let's not draw more attention to it.
Just put a bleep over it or something.
I can't. I'm not able to.
Okay, fair enough. Then let's just move on. Let's move on and let people deal with it.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, get inside. We park. Does Connell just directly go into the car park, or does Taliesin need to just point it?
If it's obvious that that's the where employees park their cars, then
there's an employee and guest parking area.
Employees just to stick it to the man.
I kind of imagined. I would have been so surprised if you realized, maybe I'll park over there where it says guest. I would have laughed my head off, but that would have been so out of character for Connell.
It would.
Yep, and let me guess, you're not even, you're parking across 3 parking spaces.
Sure.
Come on, we can do better. Doesn't one of them say CEO or something?
Yes, but that actually has a car in it.
Oh.
Ooh, the plot thickens. Okay, Taliesin doesn't even make a comment. He doesn't even look particularly upset, perturbed, or surprised. He just gets out of the car.
I have a question for our dear storyteller.
Yes?
How much have we been told of the kiddies of our kind?
About nothing. I checked last time.
Actually, very little, yes. Almost nothing. Also, let me just give you guys a link to the... oh, come on, damn it. Here we go. That's the one. I'm just going to show you a picture of the car in the parking lot. So, because that might tell you something.
It's going to be swag, isn't it?
There you go.
Let's have a look. Oh, very cat-like. Look at that Cheshire grin it's got.
Yes.
So it's,
I can't see the... Is that a... What is it?
Is it a Jaguar?
No, it's
No, because there's no kitty cat on the hood, so it's not a Jaguar.
Yeah.
But by the logo being circular, it's either going to be a Rolls-Royce, a BMW, a Skoda, or...
It's actually something called a Fisker. It's a small car company, but yeah, they
Okay.
make
Disco prize?
no, not that.
Small parking space, small building, small car
Oh wait,
company
that's
bought.
Fisher.
So why do I get the feeling that this guy likes rooting for the underdog?
That's funny because he's a cat.
In figuratively.
But on the other hand, if he's helping us, he would be helping the underdog.
We don't know yet if he's a cat.
We don't know, but we're guessing. We're working on a desperate guess. To tell you, so it's like fairly standard car. Well, say standard. It's a sports car, but don't recognise the company though.
Bandit, you've been hanging with Aaron. Oh, sorry. Forget I
What?
said anything.
Okay.
So,
Bandit doesn't look great about what she was just saying.
Taryn just looks at the building.
Choices.
There's an entrance. There are some windows, some walls. There's even a roof. That's what you see when you look at the building.
A roof,
Oh.
luxury.
I guess the most polite way of entering is the front door.
Polite, a bit obvious, but well,
We're here to ask them for help.
yes, it
Okay,
wouldn't look
so
good if we
we're-
went in the back way. Sorry.
Hello. Do you know any cats?
Me? There are some in the alley behind my house, but that's about it.
So,
Okay,
where to, boss man?
Let's face
the
it, we
front
haven't
entrance.
really been told much about them.
Sir, yes, sir. Connell starts walking toward the front entrance.
Yeah, Taliesin's going at the same
Oh,
pace.
wait!
The door opens.
Magically.
like
How
magic.
modern.
Yep, automates door. It opens.
Any-
Let you in.
Is there a reception area in the foyer? Is there a foyer?
Yes, there's a small
Yo,
reception
anyone
area.
here?
It's the lights come on as you enter.
Oh, good
Connell
God.
shouts out, anyone here?
Oh, Connell.
Hmm?
A bit more, a little more. Tone
Are
it
we
down.
going to talk with them, or are we going to talk with them?
We're going to talk with them. We're not going to
We need
shout
draw
at
their
them.
attention.
Yes. I think we already have their attention, seeing as we're able to even get in here.
Hmm.
So there's no one else around but us, is there?
No, nobody. The reception area is empty. There's, as I said, the light switches on when you enter. That's it.
Okay, Taliesin looks for any indication as to the office layout, like a map where we could find the CEO.
There are some plaques on the walls saying, this way to the meeting area, this way to accounting, and so on.
Okay, so do we find one that looks like it leads to top management or?
Yes, that would be top floor, and that would mean down there to the escalator, or so not escalator, but there's some stairs and there's an elevator, so you can choose either way.
I imagine Taryn already being on the way there, seeing she's grown up with businesses and
Mhm.
knows, the executive order is always on the first floor, top floor, let's
Top
go.
Does she take the stairs or the elevator?
She goes for the elevator.
Just they
You're
can trap
supposed to
us in that.
save. We're supposed to save the environment. Damn it!
Bing!
Mhm.
Yeah,
Go on.
it opens.
Into the lift.
Good.
Connell
Okay,
takes the stairs,
Connell takes the stairs. Okay.
saving the environment and all that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Free. And he's not only saving the environment, he's also saving shoe leather, I guess, because three steps at a time.
Yep.
Saving the environment one flight of stairs at a time.
Yeah.
Because yes, he has to vault up the stairs so fast
Oh,
that he's
God.
there leaning against the wall when we get there. So for so long.
That's actually funny though. That is actually.
If he does that, Taliesin
He
will
does.
walk by him. Well, Taliesin will walk by him and flip him off, but he won't say anything.
Is it a glass elevator so you can see them all the way up? Because I imagine him racing it all the way up.
Well, Finna evens the playing field in terms of speed by pressing elevator buttons on the way up.
Man, I got that.
So we get out on the top.
Looks utterly tired, even though she just got help from the Raven. And looks at Tally and this goes, I'm going here to ask them for their help. And they're playing games all the way up. I'm pretty sure they're seeing all of this. How are they ever going to take any of us seriously?
Well, they can see that one. Well, they see you complaining about it, and they see me flipping him off. That might give them some indication. Anyway, let's keep going.
Well, they can see us talking. I'm not sure they can hear us.
We can bet on it.
When you get up to the top floor, the light turns on. The carpets under your feet are actually quite thick. They're very soft. The whole place is done very, very stylishly. There is a distinct oriental feel to the decor.
And there is a slight smell of cat litter.
Very funny. No, there isn't that.
That's a good point. Can Fenna smell anything?
know?
Well, no.
Fenna
Yeah,
is
you
currently
can
changing her
smell.
ringtone.
You can smell people, but lots of people. Somebody, for goodness sakes, Aya. We need to reset Aya.
I just imagine when we come into his room, we can hear him scratching a little butt. Because he's having the environment that don't have a regular toilet.
Oh god.
Well, he won't think too much less of us. I mean, we're dogs. We're naturally inclined to play in times of seriousness.
Oh, sorry.
It's all right. But no, we are dogs.
We're not dogs. We're wolves.
And where do dogs come from? Where did dogs come from?
Well,
Who
yeah.
let the dogs out?
Okay,
Thing is,
so
I don't smell any bone gnaws among summits.
No, you don't. You smell the place is clean. It's you smell the various different plants. And yes, you do smell something unfamiliar. A couple of unfamiliar scents.
Give me a difficulty for the curiosity roll.
Considering the situation, it's not going to be that horrible, so I'm going to stick it with 6.
Okay.
That's a willpower roll, right?
I believe it is. I am just looking for it.
Wow.
Curiosity.
I believe it's a willpower roll to around it.
Wits.
Is it wits?
Yep.
Then it's the same.
All right.
Well, I'm the only one getting the unfamiliar smell, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're the only one getting the unfamiliar smell, but you're not the only one with curiosity in a completely new place.
One success.
Yeah. Good. Well, you both managed to overcome all your natural urges to
Go off and explore.
yes.
That could be funny though.
Run around like Link, throwing every pot we find, just to see if there are rupees inside.
Well, that would be a lot of pots. There are an enormous amount of plants in this office.
Good work environment.
Definitely, it's extremely warm and friendly in that way.
Parents could learn from this place. Terrence says calmly.
So, but then you are at the top floor, and at the end of the hallway that you're standing in, well, there's a short hallway. It opens up into a large communal workspace. or large-ish, and then at the opposite end of that, or the opposite side of that, I should say, is a door, like a double door sort of thing that looks like it leads into a meeting area.
Can I check? Can I listen out to see if I can hear anything in regards to like movement to a person
sure.
or what am I rolling?
You're rolling. That's perception plus alertness. Difficulty is 9.
Oh shit. But it is very thick rocks.
Wow, 2 successes. Very nice. Well,
I'm feeling perceptive.
Yeah, you are definitely feeling perceptive. That's a good
It's
roll. You can hear that somebody is in the meeting room.
Yeah, Taliesin breathes dramatically and then starts walking in the direction of the meeting room, beckoning for the others to follow.
Taryn follows.
Finna
Her eyes
follows.
still going everywhere. Like, ooh, interesting. Ooh, what's in there?
Okay, so you head over there.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Oddly enough, the doors don't automatically open there.
In that case, Taliesin will indulge in a bit of out of character politeness and knock.
Nobody answers.
He goes in anyway, or tries to go in anyway.
He opens the
Knock,
door.
knock.
Okay.
Nothing?
There are
Open.
2 creatures in the room. And I worded like that because I think the first one your eye is naturally drawn to is this.
Let's have a look. Holy! Hello, Shere Khan.
Lying across the table at the end of the where the CEO would normally be sitting, licking one paw in a sort of indifferent kind of way.
I was about to say that picture is the smuggest looking tiger.
Finna looks like a 4-year-old on Christmas morning.
Taryn does the same, like, oh.
And the other one is, just give me a second here.
It was the con. I should
The
have
other
noticed.
one is this young woman.
Hey, that's the one
Hey!
too.
Yes, she's the one you've been seeing.
Yeah.
UMPC.
She looks at the tiger, then realizes her, and then waves at her again. Hi.
She is incidentally sitting in a seat right next to the tiger, with her arms or her hands behind her neck, leaned back in her seat in a very, very relaxed and comfy sort of pose.
Yeah, they're both cats. They're both smug.
Taliesin's
Not that she
first.
says that out loud. She's busy looking at the tiger.
Yeah. Taliesin's first instinct, or not instinct, but his first move, once in the room, and well, assuming everyone else comes in behind him, is to put his hands up.
Oh
Essentially.
shit!
Well, not in a panicky way, but just to say, right, okay, I'm not gonna try anything, kind of pose.
While Taryn and Finna looks like Christmas morning 4-year-olds
Yeah.
staring at a big fluffy thing under the Christmas tree just for them, like, oh, that's so amazing.
I think Kono stands behind Taliesin, arms crossed, looking like a big bad bodyguard thing.
Yes.
Particularly thing.
Yeah.
Yes. Thinking, I desperately want to kill you, but for now, I'm going
Yes.
to.
And that wouldn't be far from the truth, actually.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, as you enter, the tiger rises up on all fours, turns its great big fluffy head towards you, and it looks at first like it's stretching. And once it's stretched, it kind of keeps stretching, and it changes shape
Okay.
to this.
Ah, that is a handsome devil.
It's a
And
blood room. Quite literal.
while he does that, the woman in the chair, conversely, stretches as well and changes into that.
She kitty. Yeah, she kitty.
Sleek animal, that.
Oh, she wasn't black.
That'd be cool.
It's like just a strange, weird thought which Taliesin doesn't act on, thankfully. But he thinks like those random thoughts that just comes into people's heads. It's like,
Yep.
do they have to be opposite each? What does one change? Do they have to change into the other one to balance it? And then the thought dies away very quickly. It's like, that's stupid. So yes, basically in that situation they change, and Taliesin then says, well,
So what now? Do we follow suit?
He
No.
adjusts his cuffs slightly and smiles. He's got one of those smiles that could, quite frankly, blind someone, because nothing that white is supposed to exist anywhere.
Well, now I feel self-conscious about my winning smile.
Yeah. He also has, when he smiles, which is friendly and polite, he also had, there is a very definite sense of, I am going to eat the first person who speaks up against me, all, clinging to him, basically.
mm-hmm.
He gestures or beckons towards some of the tables around the or some of the chairs, sorry, around the table, and he says, "I am very pleased to meet you. It is so good of you to accept my invitation."
Thank you for extending it to us.
This, I suppose, in the language of the Garou would be, well, it cannot be a moot, since I am not a member of your gathering. We would call it Tagam. It is a friendly meeting. There will be no violence, no harm done to anyone here. We are simply here to talk.
I wouldn't wish it any other way.
How very good. I'm pleasantly surprised.
Aaron
Oh,
is
Sorry.
grinning in a way that says, "We found the cats," without actually saying that.
I think Taliesin moves to take a seat.
Well, that's well.
Aaron takes a seat too.
Yeah.
What did you say, Heine? I
Finish
didn't hear you.
Oh, I just said Connell does as well.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
How
So
big?
everyone takes a seat.
Yes. Well,
How big?
so does he when he's done. Except, well, she's now kind of prowling around the room, but
Aaron is furiously following her, like, ooh.
So
yeah,
is Fenna.
there is a real elegance and softness to how she moves.
And Saren has to look that, why couldn't I turn into that?
Okay.
So he says, "Things are not good in Dublin."
No, they are not.
Shall we make them good?
Yes, please.
Excellent. What a
Sarah's a-
very positive attitude.
What did you say, Aya?
Saren is surprised. Fenna is being polite.
Point. So what a very positive attitude. It's not one I am often met by when it comes to the Garou. Typically, it starts out with Gur, and then it's followed by Arg, and then it's followed by a lot of clawing, slashing, and biting. It's very
Well-
counterproductive.
As well.
But
On this occasion, there are 3 distinct reasons for why our approach to conversation with you is a little different.
Well, please enlighten me.
Well, we're young.
Good point.
We're at your mercy, and we're a little bit desperate.
Well, he says and scratches his chin. I wouldn't exactly say that you are at my mercy, as in there are 4 of you, and 2 of us, and Jata here is more of a runner than a fighter. But nonetheless, I appreciate the sentiment.
I wouldn't wish to. I would be foolish to try and threaten a man in his own domain.
You are a wiser man than most, he says and smiles. There's that distinct predatory sense to it again. But he doesn't seem to do it on purpose. It's just there.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, I am curious what it is that has caused all this. How is it you say in English? Kerfuffle. It appears to me that an awful lot of violence is taking place, and nobody invited me. I'm most insulted by that, he says, and smiles.
well, the kerfuffle started a long time ago. If I'm
Also, it's hard to
Yep.
invite someone you don't know where is.
that too.
I suppose I shall have to let that one slide then.
Well, depending on what we discuss here, it might still be possible to extend you a late invitation as a way of an apology.
Well, he says, what I am hoping will happen from this is fairly simple. See, our kind and your kind haven't gotten along for thousands of years. I
Mm.
think that's pretty common knowledge by now. We've been fighting and killing each other for so long that I doubt anybody can really imagine a time where we didn't.
If I may,
Yes.
I've heard about the big war that started it all, but I've never actually been told why.
I could tell you why, but when you go back and talk to the other guru, they will tell you that my version is false. Because as it is with any war, every side has its own story about how it started.
History is written by the victor, therefore history is filled with liars.
It's not always the case. History is written by the survivors,
A very good point.
which is why we have different versions of different stories. And let's face it, there are those among you and those amongst my kind who would quite happily continue butchering each other senselessly for all time. And quite frankly, it seems to be an incredibly foolish waste of resources.
We've had a few thousand years between us to perfect foolishness, haven't we?
How elegantly put, but yes, we have. Foolishness is a killer, except it usually kills the wrong targets. I would much prefer to see the end of I would much prefer to see the end of the great enemy, and when I think you refer to it as the worm,
Mm.
than to you or to my own kind, for that matter.
That is what we all wish for indeed.
I'm not saying we will necessarily be the best of friends. Somehow I doubt that's going to be possible. But coexistence might be a possibility. So here's my suggestion. We have no business with the spirit world the way you do. I have no real interest in claiming domain over any such thing. We do not, generally speaking, enter the Umbra, I believe is your word for it. Also, I have very little interest in the vast majority of this city. What I suggest, however, is that me and mine, we are going to run Sandyford. It's not a big area. And in return for us having free reign of this area and being recognized as being the ones in charge of this part of Dublin, we will quite happily help you exterminate your pest problem.
And
is this an acceptable proposal?
And all you require of us is that we leave you all alone.
Kindly do not attack us would be a very good way of starting, yes.
Yeah.
Also, if anybody were to, enter Sandyford, then do so, but kindly acknowledge that in the process of doing so that you are on our turf. You cede this small part of Dublin to our control, and you will have allies.
Villa leans in to Telly. Can we even do that? Do you count as head over right now?
Well, it seems so for the moment, and besides, I trust we know Kat well enough that she might accept it if it means that we can if we can have some breathing room. If you think this is a good idea as well, then we'll have to stand together and do what we can to convince those that aren't convinced that this is a good idea. But I'm for it.
Okay.
Taliesin looks to Taran and Connell.
Taran
Sorry, go ahead.
Taran just looks at Telly and shrugs.
Connell just nods and says,
That's a purr he was talking about.
exactly.
So Taliesin looks back to Isha.
Yes?
I'm speaking on behalf of those of us here. We are all in agreement. The rest will obviously need to be talked to. Some will need to be convinced, but we will do our best to ensure that occurs. We are, as I'm sure you're aware, a stubbornly individualistic.
It's funny that you say so, because while I don't disagree with you, you call yourself stubbornly individualistic, yet you form packs. We don't.
Yeah.
We really are stubbornly individualistic, except once in a very rare while, one of us who's strong enough forms what we call a tekla.
Tesla?
Which is what I have done now.
Mm.
There are 4 of us, and I'm volunteering this information to you. There are 4 of us in Dublin at the moment, and there is a 5th, possibly a 6th, on their way.
Oh,
Uh,
out on their way, they might not be able to get in.
Oh, do tell.
Yes,
Our
sorry.
entire place is kinda encapsulated. No one supernatural can leave or come in.
As far as we're aware.
Mages, not the Fae, not us.
Since when?
For
Since-
How long has it been?
About 2 weeks.
How very odd. I arrived in Dublin 3 days ago.
What?
Oh, and actually, now, yeah, okay, that's that. For goodness sake.
Yes, I
they've
flew.
got to extend it to
I
them.
flew in 3 days ago.
Oh,
Taryn smiles. They actually didn't even count on
it
that.
doesn't cover the top.
Doesn't cover the top. That's good to know.
Sky's open.
It's not a dome. It's just an open cylinder, then, or maybe your kind wasn't considered, or maybe shock horror. Damn thing might actually be down.
He does raise an eyebrow. He does sound a little confused at the whole prospect of not being able to enter or leave. So he says, "So, Jata," and she changes back up into human form. You were you were in Cork yesterday, weren't you? She smiles and shrugs and says, "Yes, I went for a light run."
Taryn looks up. Light run.
Taliesin, yes, Taliesin looks to her and just says, "Cheetah."
I know, but that's still amazing.
So Taliesin's like, well, that
Well,
does change a few things for us. We definitely have still been trapped, and over the last few days we've had barriers shift.
yeah, the guys at Tower couldn't get over here, and we didn't know if that meant that it was situated around here as well, or if it had split into two. I guess this means it split into two. Or it didn't. It just moved to only contain them.
Out of character,
Right.
Joan.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. How long ago was the message we received that the barrier had shifted? Was that 3 days ago, 2 days ago?
A couple of days ago, yeah.
So within the time frame, basically. So we
I think
don't.
it's actually no. I think it was the day before.
Yeah,
Oh,
well,
okay.
but probably nobody had actually tried before then. There wasn't much need to go back and forth, so it could have been changed
Well,
for a while.
The point being that even if the barrier around Dublin itself is gone, the barrier around Tara is still extant, and it probably means that anyone trying to get in from the outside wouldn't be able to. So it just means that they've literally cornered the Tara sept for the purpose of finishing it off for good, because they know it can't be reinforced.
or it is that Tally said that it didn't consider the con.
Was
Possibly.
that just...
Anyway,
So basically, yeah. So Taliesin looks back to Isha again.
Okay. He ponders this for a while, and then he looks at Jata again and says, "Would you be a dear, and could you just quickly run up to Tara and see if there's anything stopping you?" And she smiles again and nods and goes, "Yes, of course, I'll be on my way." And
Can you get
he smiles at the rest of you and says, "Well, it'll just probably be a few minutes. Shall we have a cup of something to drink in the meantime? Coffee, perhaps? Tea?"
Tea sounds good.
Yeah, tea sounds good.
No, I hear that cheetahs can only run at full speed for like 17 seconds before their brains overheat. I guess that doesn't go for her.
No, it doesn't go for her.
Will she? Well, actually, why am I even asking that? She'll know to look after herself.
She can run at a speed of close to 1,000 miles an hour, he says and smiles.
So at this point,
She's
Taliesin.
not going to have any difficulties.
At this point, Taliesin genuinely, for a very stupid second, actually expects to hear a sonic boom, but then realizes
When-
that this.
when she goes outside and she leaves the room, and a moment later she comes back in with tea and coffee, and don't worry about it. She says, I had time. And then she heads off.
Do you mind if I... Sorry,
please,
do you mind
please,
if
by
I...
all means, go on.
Sorry, do you mind if I just swear in surprise violently?
Wow, very mannered. No, by all means.
Fuck me sideways with a fish fork.
Careful, might have one.
How colourful.
That's the wonderful thing about being from Wales. Everyone underestimates you in every way.
Also down there.
Taliesin does not dignify that with a response or a reaction.
Would you mind if I placed a phone call? He says.
No, go ahead.
He picks up his cell phone and dials and says, Joseph, it's me. Could you please come to the office? And if you can get Shen to come along, we actually have. I actually have managed to make contacts, and when you get here, for goodness sakes, be on your best behavior. We're having a civilized, polite conversation here.
Taliesin turns and looks very pointedly at Connell.
Now, who's going to believe him when he says that he's having a civilized conversation with Garou?
Connell,
Sorry, go on, please. Connell, what?
Connell just smiles broadly at Taliesin's glare.
Pointed look, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God.
The look doesn't change. Like, I am watching you.
Yes.
But yes, okay.
So, yes.
Once that phone call's been made, Taliesin's going to be a little bit... he's going to basically, well, not gamble, but he's going to share a bit more information and just hope that it's not going to be to cost him. And basically, since Isha has been kind enough to actually be honest about their numbers and the situation they're in, he feels it only appropriate he does the same with the Sept, basically.
Yes.
So he says, well, you've done us the courtesy of explaining your situation and numbers in Dublin. Allow me to do the same.
Maybe we should do that after the break, though, I just realized.
Yes, that's a good point.
First, I thought he was the one talking.
Maybe he was. He actually broke the fourth wall.
I'm very sorry, but we should have a break here. So I will... I'm going to stop the recording, and we'll be right back with the final hour of A Song of Tara.